Okay, here's how we make our sign for advanced manufacturing. I'm going to open up a Google slide, and we're going to work on this. First of all, this works really well if you do larger fonts and you make it bold. Large, bold fonts tend to work the best. Little thin fonts don't work well. The machine doesn't get to cut in, so we're going to go pretty big. Next, we're going to add a little border. So I'll do insert shape. A very common, famous one is this plus sign called a plaque. We're going to put that just like that. And then you can move it left and right, and a red line shows up when it's centered. We're going to get rid of the fill. So transparent with the paint bucket. We're going to make this black. And we're going to change the thickness of the line so it's a little thicker, like an 8, maybe even 12. Okay, now we have the sign. Come up with whatever you want. Here's how you export it when you're done. File, download, JPEG. File, download, JPEG. Now you're going to go into V Carve, and we're going to get started with what you really need to do. Create new file, and you need to type in your sizes. So now if you look at my screen, you're going to take my board, and you're going to measure the length and the height, and just double check that is correct, and we're going to type that in. Let's say, for example, your board is 12 inches long, and it is 6 inches tall. Measure the thickness of your board. The thickness of your board should be 0.75 inches. Should be 0.75 inches. So we're going to put 0.75 in for the thickness. The datum, this tells the machine where to start. So when you're making your sign in this lower corner, that is where the machine will start. It's always in the lower left corner. So we're going to leave that alone. We're going to hit OK. Your square should change and look similar to mine. Pause the video if you got lost and rewind and watch it again. We're going to come up here. We have all of our tools, open, save, and this one on the right is going to be import an image. So click on this one right here. You're going to go to your downloads folder over here. All these folders, go to the download folder. And that's where your CNC sign should be, right there. And we're going to hit open. All right. Next, we're going to convert this into lines. Right now it's a JPEG, and if you zoom in, see how it's all pixelated? That's no good. The CNC can't cut that. So we'll come over here, create vectors, and we'll come down to this one right here. It looks like a bird, called Trace Bitmap. We're going to click on this one right here. We're going to change the color to black and white. And we'll go down to Preview and Apply right next to it. Preview and Apply. Hit Close. We don't want to see our bitmap, so we'll come up here to Layers. And we'll click on the light bulb for bitmap. Click on the light bulb for bitmap. Close that. Now, mine's not centered, so I'll click on it. Everything lights up because it's all grouped. And this white thing will align it. So I'll click on the white thing, and then this aligns everything. Boom, now it aligned perfectly. Close. If yours is not big enough or is too small, when it's lit up pink, you can come over to Transform Objects, and one of them is called Scale. Select Object Size. So we'll click on this one. And now, just like you would in Word, we can make it bigger or smaller. You want to leave a little bit of room around the edge. Okay, you want to have some room around the edge. And when you're done, hit Close. And now it's not centered again, so we'll go back and we'll realign it. Once you're satisfied with your drawing, you're going to do a File, Save, and your instructor will have the name and where you're going to save it. Normally we would just call this our last name, CNC sign. All right, and then you would save this where your teacher tells you. In this case, it's going to be on my name, and I'm going to just hit Save. You've just saved the vector file. This is not the carve file. So now we need to make the carving file. So we're going to come up here to Toolpaths on the right, click on that, Toolpaths, and we're going to choose a V Carve right here, V Carve. So make sure everything is lit up pink. and then click on the V Carve. We're going to be using this 90-degree bit. We need to change it, so click on Edit. And you want to make some changes. Feed rate, we're going to leave it at 30. And for our plunge rate, you want to make it 5. Okay, actually we're going to do 40 for our feed rate. You're just going to be something different. So 40 for a feed rate, that's how many inches a minute it moves, 40 inches per minute. And a plunge rate of 5. Leave everything else alone and hit OK. Pull our tools back open. Flat depth. This means that if you have a really deep groove, the bit will keep going down and down and down, and that's bad. So we're going to set a flat depth of 0.25 inches. So that means if you have a deep groove, it'll actually come down and go flat on the bottom. Okay, if you have a big picture. We're going to come down here and click Calculate. And then you can hit Preview All Toolpaths. And then if you click with your mouse and just drag, you can rotate it, and it should look good. Have your instructor check what it looks like before proceeding. Have your instructor check this before proceeding. If your instructor approves it, next we'll come down here to Close. We're going to check this little box, and we're going to click on this button to save toolpath right here. Save toolpath. We're going to choose the CNC Piranha 3D contour, which is the top one on the list. We're just going to leave it, and we're going to click Save Toolpaths to File right here. And you're going to call this your name, CNC Sign, and we're going to call it Cut, because this is the cut file. And your instructor will have a spot for you to upload that. So now if you were to go to Google Classroom, your teacher under the Advanced Manufacturing class will have a spot that you can upload this to. I believe mine is right here. And there's a Google folder right here we'll go to. And I can click on New, File Upload, and I can upload my file that I just found. I'm going to have to go down here to my name. And then if I scroll down, there should be Corbett CNC Sign and CNC Sign Cut. So I can upload those one at a time. Open, New, File Upload. I'll scroll down, and I'll do CNC Sign Cut and hit Open. And you can see down here, it's uploading both of those. Now you are ready to go and load up the machine with your instructor.